Have you ever said something in anger and regretted it later? Let me begin with a small story. One evening, a father came home after a tiring day. He was already disturbed because of work pressure. As soon as he entered the house, he saw his teenage son had not completed an important school assignment. The father asked, "Why haven't you done it?" The son replied casually, "I'll do it later." That one sentence triggered the father. He started shouting, "You are becoming irresponsible. You don't care about your future. You never listen." The boy tried to explain, but the father was not ready to listen. Within minutes, the conversation became an argument. The son walked away, hurt and silent. Later that night, the father discovered something important. His son had actually been helping his younger sister with her project and had planned to complete his own assignment after dinner. The father felt bad. The problem was not the assignment. The problem was the father's anger. Because of anger, he did not see the full picture. Because of anger, he judged before understanding. And because of anger, he damaged the conversation that could have become a moment of connection. This happens to all of us. Anger makes us react before we think. It makes us speak before we understand. It makes us punish before we examine. And sometimes it makes us take decisions that we later regret. Between emotion and action, there's a golden moment. Choose wisely as to what you want to do in that moment. Vanakkam. Hello. I'm Coach SELO. The father in that story was not a bad father. He was simply an angry father. And these are two very different things. There's a world of difference between these two. Today, let's talk about an important, powerful emotion that visits every human being: anger. Anger is not always bad. Sometimes anger tells us that something is unfair. Sometimes it tells us that our boundary has been crossed. Sometimes it gives us the courage to speak up. But unmanaged anger is dangerous. It can damage relationships. It can spoil our peace. It can make us take wrong decisions. It can make a loving parent sound like an enemy. It can make a good leader look harsh. And it can make a wise person behave foolishly. The issue is not whether we get angry. The real issue is, what do we do after anger enters our mind? But to manage anger, we must first understand one thing. Anger doesn't make us just loud. It changes the way we think. It changes the way what we see, what we ignore, and what we assume. Let's see how anger makes us quietly take wrong decisions.
How anger causes wrong decisions. When we are angry, our thinking becomes narrow. We do not see the whole situation. We only see the part that hurts us. A small mistake looks like a big insult. A delay looks like disrespect. A disagreement looks like rebellion. A simple question looks like a challenge. In anger, we often ask the wrong question. Instead of asking, what really happened? We ask, how dare they? Instead of asking, what is the best solution? We ask, how can I prove I am right? Instead of asking, how can I protect this relationship? We ask, how can I win this argument? That is how anger leads to wrong decisions. We may send a harsh message. We may shout at a child. We may insult a spouse. We may resign from a job impulsively. We may break a friendship. We may make a financial or professional decision just to satisfy our ego. But after anger cools down, wisdom returns. And then we say, I should not have said that. I should have waited. I should have listened. I should have handled it differently. That is why anger must not be allowed to sit in the driver's seat of our life.
That is why many wise people across history have warned us against anger. They understood that anger may make us feel powerful in that moment, but in reality, it actually makes us weak. One such powerful reminder comes from Seneca, the Roman philosopher. His words are simple but carry deep meaning. Let's see what they are.
There is a powerful line from Seneca, the ancient Roman philosopher. He said, "The best remedy for anger is delay." What a beautiful thought. He did not say the best remedy for anger is shouting. He did not say the best remedy is proving your point immediately. He did not say the best remedy is revenge. He said delay. Because delay gives time for wisdom to return. When anger rises, delay your words, delay your decision, delay your reaction. You can always respond later. But once you speak harshly, you cannot easily take those words back.
2000 years later, Seneca's advice is still relevant as ever. But the real question is, how do we apply it? How do we actually delay our reaction when anger rises? What do we do in those few seconds before anger takes control? In the next episode, I will share a simple framework that I teach parents, professionals, and leaders. A framework built around one simple word: pause. Because every wise action begins with a pause.